Welcome back to Hardcore Minecraft. We are on episode 3, and I plan on building a castle today. Yeah, I'm already planning on building a castle. Don't ask me why. This project will require a ton of materials that's going to take forever. And the only way we're going to be able to get through this is by enchanting some tools and going mining, which is where we started last episode. We're going to have to do that again this episode. But I am so excited to turn this valley into a protective fortress against all types of pillagers, creepers, and anything that is going to try and attack us from that ocean. Guys, I'm like really scared of dying in this world. I really don't want to die. I'm really scared. But the first step in this video before I do anything is cleaning up around the base because it is a mess. But the main things that need to be done right now is just cleaning up, getting these chests out of here, and moving them into the house, and just sorting this area out and making it functional and just much easier to use because this area is extremely messy. I mean, look at all this stuff that we have right here. Why is all of this over here? All of these barrels look exactly like this. So we're gonna have to figure out where to store certain items and organize this house. I want to decorate the house a little bit more because there's some things unfinished with that. I'm just not really liking the way it functions right now. It's kind of a disaster. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. Actually, it's not gonna be real quick. It's gonna take an excruciating amount of time. I cannot tell you guys how much PTSD I just experienced from my last world. My heart is racing so much right now. There's no way for him to get inside the house, but I just heard footsteps. I was like, who's that? Is that a sheep? And then I looked in my window, or out my window, and this is what's looking out there. That is crazy. And does he have infinite health? I'm gonna have to light this area up a little bit more. The amount of jump scares that are happening in this world, it's a little bit too much. I'm gonna light some of these areas up. I'm gonna be honest, I got a little sidetracked when I was doing stuff around the house, and I decided to go on a trip over to the spider XP farm I made last episode to try and find some enchants on my tools, and I ended up getting blast protection 4 in my leggings, protection 4 in my chest plate, and these really good boots. Oh, and I also got a faster shovel. Then I got sidetracked again and decided to go on a mining adventure to find more diamonds because I ran out, and look who was waiting for me, a bunch of mobs. But I found a really cool cave, and I ended up exploring that. The cave led me underwater, but it went back up into an even bigger area where there was a skeleton waiting for me, but he shot a bat, so thank you, bat. There was also some creepers waiting for me because this world keeps sending me creepers because they just don't want me to have fun. I made my way over to an area that had a crazy amount of diamonds, and there was these 2 baby zombies waiting for me, and you know what I did? I just made a water slide straight down to lava, but it didn't quite work, so I had to finish them off myself. And then I just began mining all of the diamonds in the area. There was also 2 endermen that I found in boats, and I got 2 pearls from them. And this world sent me 2 more creepers because they want me to experience the PTSD from last world again. But as I was going back towards the entrance of the cave, I went underwater and there was some diamonds waiting for me, so I got them. And I looked up in a new area and I found more diamonds. And there was also 2 more diamonds waiting for me at the end of the caving adventure. And then I got home and fixed up my tools with the newly acquired diamonds. How did the anvil already break? I'm just gonna go home now. This has been a pretty long journey, but this is what I found mining. I got 47 diamonds. I got 53 in total, but I used them to enchant my tools, as you saw. We didn't really mine this much. It was mostly the diamonds, and we have 47 now, which is a lot more than what we had in the beginning of the episode, which is pretty cool. This is the new house interior. I'm not done doing this yet because we don't have enough bookshelves. But this is the new kitchen. I didn't really change much, just added that up there, and then did finish this pantry thing. It looks a lot better than what it used to, which was just grass and nothing else. I sorted through every single chest in this house as well. But this is the basement. This is our starting iron armor with some tools and everything in there. And then a cellar down here with some bulk storage. Also added some flowers around here. I added a wagon down there. I think it looks really cool. And we didn't really do much. Oh, I forgot one more thing. We did finally add an interior to the watchtower or whatever it's going to be. We can't really fit anything up here. If you guys do have any ideas for what this tower can be, I would appreciate it. Some people have said an enchantment tower, but I have other plans for that because it's just too small, and there's these windows that I think honestly are just good for like a view. I think that's really all it's going to end up being, but at least there is a staircase here. It looks so much better. Also, give me ideas for what this tower could be in general. This part of the tower and also this part of the tower, which I have no idea what to do with. I could add like a map right here, and I think could be really cool. Like just a big map of this area, which I should probably start creating soon. I also added this garden over here. I have not made a path yet for this side. I don't know if I like it that much. It looks pretty bad. I did also expand this wheat field. It's going to look so much better when it's fully grown. And I still have some things that I want to do before I get into the actual main builds in this video. But I do want to terraform this area, and that's going to be a pretty big project. I can add some retaining walls right there and maybe terraform a path over here. I mean, this area needs so much terraforming, but I think I'm just going to start on this main area. And that's something that I'm going to get working on right now. But I think I'm just going to time-lapse me terraforming because it gets pretty boring. And after a lot of time, we have finally finished this terraforming project. Again, it took a lot of time, but I think it looks so much better now. But I think this area is going to need a lot of terraforming if we're going to want to make builds around here, especially this spot. Like, yeah, it looks kind of cool, but I don't know what we're supposed to do about it other than just place dirt over it. And I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what was wrong with my voice in that clip. I think I was just like back from work or something and I was physically and mentally dead, but it sounded weird, so I'm sorry. But now it is time to get into the main part of this video, which is building a castle. And the castle is going to go right over there where that nether portal is, pretty much just right there. And that's what I've been doing right now, is just gathering materials. That's not the materials. The materials are over there, but the castle is going to go right there, and I think it's going to look really cool. But the first thing I'm going to work on is terraforming that area. And that requires plenty of resources, so I'm going to go through and make sure I have enough to do that. And I hope you guys enjoy this nice peaceful montage of me gathering materials. I'm totally not interrupting it with my annoying voice. But the first real step of getting this terraforming project done was to remove this ugly nether portal. It was really just in the way. And by the way, powdered snow is incredibly annoying. But that brought us into the main terraforming project, where I would use a mix of tuff, acacia wood, andesite, cobblestone, mossy blocks, and a little bit of light gray terracotta with some mud for some little mud accents in the build, and I think it turned out really nice. And this wouldn't be a time-lapse or a video without one of these guys showing up. I didn't show it, but early in this video when I was going mining on my way back home, one of these things spawned. It is getting ridiculous. Did they change the spawn rates of these guys? Or is this region just filled with these guys? I don't know why they are spawning so much. But when I go over here, it should be fine. They should disappear. And I have completed all of the terraforming that I can right now. I am pretty low on materials. I've taken like 50 trips back to the base to get materials during this process. It's taking so long to do. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It looks beautiful in here, doesn't it? We'll take a look at it from down here. This is just the start of the terraforming project that I'm going to do in this area, because it stands out a lot like this. And some of these areas are actually me beginning the castle. As you can see right there, it just kind of fits into the environment a bit. The castle, it looks like it's going to be really small. It's a pretty big castle, but I'm really excited to get into that. But I'm low on materials like acacia wood, which is used throughout. I'm going to have to keep restocking on wool and just so many materials during the making of this build. And it's going to take a while just to do that. I probably shouldn't be running around like this. There's so many holes in this area. But let's take a look at it from right here. It's going to look so nice once it's complete. This area, especially with some trees, a path that leads all the way to the base. I'm so excited. And I know it's the thumbnail, but you guys can just imagine what a castle would look like from this area, this view. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to put a castle there, because it being seen in a distance, it's going to look so cool. But these are all of the materials that I'm going to have to get over there, and I'm going to have to get some more. So I'm just going to montage that. I am already growing some of the trees that I need. And yeah, we'll just get into a montage of me doing this, because this is the boring part. Oh no, the cow is stuck. I don't really care. I don't really care. What I'm doing right now is just mining some deep slate, and I'm just trying to leave the cave, and it seems like a common theme in this video is creepers. So we're gonna have to try to get past this guy. Might have to let him explode. Oh god, he's really coming down. Dude, he's on a mission right now. Well, that was dramatic. Should be fine now. I really need to make stairs to get back up. Well, we made it up, so I'm gonna continue gathering materials. And now we are at a point where we pretty much have every resource we need to build the castle, but we need a bunch of light gray wool still. We probably need a lot more deep slate, and it's definitely going to take a while to get all of the stuff that we need still. Right now, I'm just going to have to collect light gray wool, which is, it's going to take a pretty long amount of time to do that. And I was panicking. I didn't know where Pink Sheep was, but we found him. Okay, he's fine. Can't let him disappear like that. I'm going to say what's up to Pink Sheep. And yeah, we have priorities around here in this world. We have to talk to Pink Sheep. How you doing up there? It's kind of cold up here, isn't it? I'm sorry to do this to you, Pink Sheep. Look away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pink Sheep. I don't know why I did that. I just wanted to say hi, and that's my way of doing it. Anyways, I'm just going to start collecting more materials now so we can build this castle. It's taken a long time to do all this, and I'm ready to start building. I've been waiting all day. Well, I've gathered enough materials to start building this thing, and I'm pretty excited to do it. And I think initially I'm just going to start a time lapse and maybe go over things as I complete them, but I think for the most part this build is just going to be a time lapse. It's going to be pretty hard to follow what is happening, but I'll maybe catch you guys up on what's happening in between certain things that are made, but for the most part it's going to be a time lapse. It's going to be a pretty amazing build. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Okay. And I've done a pretty good amount of the castle so far. We have obviously the terraforming done, which I showed you, and then we are starting on what is just the base kind of layer of the castle and a couple of towers right here. And then this section, which I love, this entrance section, but I ran out of wool, of light gray wool. So I'm gonna have to bring my shears and get started on shearing more of these sheep because it is used a lot in this build, and I don't know where my shears are. So I'm going to have to find those, but that's what we're going to focus on right now. And I'm not really sure how many more wool blocks I'm going to need for this build. I think it's a lot. It's like maybe 2 more stacks. So I might have to just slowly gather some of the wool blocks. And, you know, I didn't really want to just complete the castle entirely and then just have it be done. Like, I like kind of just stopping in the middle to gather more materials and just catch you guys up on what's happening because it already looks so nice, especially from a distance. But this is what we need. I've been breeding them up down here because we need a lot of gray wool. And no, I'm not going to shear Pink Sheep again. I'm not going to do that again. So don't worry, Pink Sheep. You're fine. But he keeps trying to climb the mountain. Oh, he's still up there. Sorry, dude. He's not pink anymore. He'll get it back. I think I've collected enough gray wool now. I'm just going to get back into the build. And I am pretty much done with the castle right now. I have a few more things to touch up. And yep, that's correct. You see that in the distance. They're just wandering down there. There's more of them. They've shown up to every single thing I've ever done in this world. They're following me around. I don't know where they're going right now, but they're dedicated to try to find me. I'm up here. Like it's not hard to see this castle, and they're really stupid. They don't know where they're going. Where'd they go? Did they despawn? That just watched them disappear in live action right there. I'm very excited to show you guys what this castle looks like in full, but I am going to have to get some more foliage and stuff. And I'm ready to show you guys the castle. I've completed it, but it's raining and snowing. I built this in a place where it's going to snow and get all over the castle. I'm going to have to fix that with string and carpets and stuff. And just blocks like that, so snow doesn't get all over the build, but that's going to be a later project. But I'm going to have to wait this out so you guys can actually see what's happening. And it has stopped raining, and this is the view of the castle from where the base is. It looks so cool in the background. I mean, I'm going to make a view right here, so you go down this, and there's going to be nothing in this view right here, so you can always see the castle. But it looks so good from over here. There's definitely some things I have to do to complete it, like add some custom trees in that area, like I have in this area, these custom trees. I'm going to add maybe a few of those over there. I would like to make that area a little bit more spruce heavy, but I'm going to head my way over to the castle and give you guys a tour. I'm sure you guys saw a lot of it from the time lapse, but I'm really excited to show you guys what the inside of the castle looks like. And here we are at the front of the castle. I guess this would be considered the front or side of the castle. It's where the entrance is right here, which I really like. This overhang you walk through, and I'll show you guys that side later. I also want to mention it is day 199. We've almost hit day 200 in this video. This castle, it's taken a lot of time to gather materials for it and just to build it. It's a lot of work to do it. And the snow is going to be really annoying. You walk up these stairs, and the vibe that it gives off is just, it's so cool. It looks old, a little bit ruined, which I like. But you walk up here, and this section, it's very fortified, like as if they're trying to defend something. It's more of like a fortress. There's this door, and this is the entrance to nothing. There's nothing in here. When I said I was excited to show you guys the inside of the castle, this is not what I was talking about. This is what I'm excited to show you guys. This whole, like, actual inside of the castle is just so cool to me. Like, being able to go up here, there's a little bridge right here, and then there's a building, and then you can also, you know, just go right here to the left, and there's another building right here, this white building, which will have 2 entrances. And once I actually get into the interior of the castle, I think it's going to look so much nicer, but I cannot get into that in this episode. That's another project. There's going to be stairs going down here, but there's also this little section that you can walk through, and it's like a guard area. Like they're guarding this whole valley region right here. It's pretty cool lore to have this castle sitting right here. Yeah, and there's another entrance to a lower section and a tower where you can kind of see. But, I mean, to be honest, that's kind of what most of the castle is. There's not much to tour right now because it's just, there's no actual inside of the castle, which is most of what the castle is, but it's fine. I can always go around in free cam to show you guys little bits and pieces. This is one of the things I added later on in the build. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Help me. Okay. Oh, I also forgot one little thing. I forgot I was missing one piece of glass right up there, and that obviously makes a huge difference to what this build is going to look like from every angle, but I'm very excited about the interior of this castle. This is, again, something I added later on in the build process. It's kind of a ruined tower or something. The whole lore behind this is that it's the oldest part of the castle, and it was actually here before this was even here, like by a long time. Like this was standing here before this castle was built by who knows how many years, because it's just a ruined tower or part of another castle that maybe existed in this area. That's why, you know, having a tower right here would make no sense. That's kind of the lore I made. But it just looks older than the rest of the build, which I think is pretty cool. But down here, this angle of it just looks so cool. In my opinion, this is the best angle of the whole castle. And eventually I'm going to make some builds down here, like a port city in this little region, and it's just gonna make the vibe of the castle that much cooler. But as you kind of go in here, I missed a block right there. That's fine. There's no interior, so some parts are just like hollow. Anyways, as you kind of go in here, this also needs to be textured. That's fine. I can do that real quick. In there, it's textured now. I do have to make this match, actually, the rest of it, but it's fine. This entrance might honestly end up being different than the rest of these because I'm planning on putting a throne room down here I don't know which side is going to be the throne room. Maybe right here, or like the actual throne. Maybe right here, but I mean, it looks really bad down here. It's not good right now, I'll be honest. It's far from good, actually. But it's fine. It's fine. But that, I mean, that's a massive project in itself. Just brain-wise, like, I don't even know how to think of an interior for this. There's just too many spaces. But I'm going to go into free cam again. There's this little section right here, which I added later on, because I didn't want these windows to go around the entire way, because it just looked too much of like a skyscraper having that many windows, and I just didn't like the way it looked. But again, once there's an interior, the actual exterior of the castle is going to look nicer, because looking through these windows, you're not going to just, it's not going to be hollow, which is exactly what it is right now. But most of the design of the castle is made to seem like it's a fortress, like they're protecting against something, maybe preventing these people or other people that could come in to this region, like just protecting this region entirely. And I could put more castles to do the same thing in other places, but the terraforming I really enjoy, and it's not finished. I definitely have to do a lot involving the terraforming project that I have for this area. I need some trees and some more greenery in here. I think it looks really cool having this section kind of go like that, and then maybe I can put a tree right there. I just don't want anything to take away from this. I did use a lot of stained glass in this build, like on the roof and everything. Kind of took some of this from B-dubs, because I think stained glass is really cool. Used it even for some of these leaves and stuff. And with these type of big scale projects, I like to experiment with stained glass, because I think, especially from a distance, it can make the build look that much better. Enough talking about the build. This is officially day 200 after I sleep, and we have hit day 200. That means we've officially spent about 100 days on this video. We hit day 100 last episode. We are now all the way up to day 200. This, I mean, it's been going by really fast. I'm very happy with what we've built in this episode. And if you're wondering what is next in this video, it's going to be exactly what I've been talking about. It's adding some custom trees. And what I want to do is make a path that goes all the way from there to the castle. And I'm not sure how big of a project that's even going to be, because this area needs a lot of terraforming, and I'm going to have to do a lot of that as I work on the path to the castle. I'm just not sure how much it's going to be yet until I actually get into that. But I'm going to have to gather some blocks to start some custom trees. And just, it looks so amazing in the distance, especially with my fog settings, which everybody has been asking for, by the way, these fog settings. I'm just going to go through, and I think I'm just going to give them to you guys right now. So there's this mod called Simple Fog Control. If you have mod menu, it's much easier to navigate. By the way, that's another mod menu. But Simple Fog Control makes it so you can have this type of fog in your world, and these are my settings. Just got to turn enable terrain fog modification on, obviously, and then fog begin -20, and then fog end 135. This will depend on your render distance, I think, and -20, it doesn't have to be that low. You can do -10, but I prefer it to be a lot closer to me than that. But I do think the fog settings depend on what render distance you have, and I do have 30 render distance. So anyways, what I'm doing now is I'm just figuring out where I want these custom trees to go up here, and I've also started covering up this powdered snow. I want it to be known that this is my least favorite block in the game, powdered snow. I've fallen in it many times. It's really annoying, and you can't mine it with a shovel. So when I was clearing this area out, it took forever just to clear out this little section. It took way longer than you would think, because this stuff, this is an efficiency 4 shovel, and that's how long it took to break it. You might as well just use your hand, or just place blocks over it, which is exactly what I'm going to get started on doing. But I think the idea for this area up here is to make a little forest. It's not going to be anything crazy, but I'm going to put maybe 10 to 15 spruce trees up here. And I'm not going to make 10 to 15 spruce trees immediately, but I did make a few spruce trees after terraforming this area, and that leads me into my next segment of tutorials with Wombaat. And I'm going to go over a tutorial on how to build a spruce tree. When you try to build spruce trees in Minecraft, do they look like this? And you want them to look like that? No, not that. This right here. If you want your trees to look like this, I can lead you there. And the easiest way to start out a spruce tree is to just build up about 13 to 15 blocks. So there, I built up about 13. That's kind of where it is. And then you want to put a few fences up there like that to give it a little bit more height, but don't make it super thick at the top. And you can make it a little bit shorter than that if you want. So I'm just going to do 2. And the easiest way to start out is by just adding your branches. And you want to start up a little bit up the tree and just add a couple right there. And you just want to make it a little bit random. Also keeping in mind that spruce trees kind of have this sort of shape where they get smaller and then go up. So you kind of want to space out your branches, usually like 1 block each like that. So I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to put one like right there, and then up the tree a little bit more. I'm going to put another double branch right here with one like that. And you can add however many branches you want. That's just what it's going to look like for now, and you can always add them later on. The easiest way to start out is by just spamming leaves in this kind of spruce looking shape like this. 4 blocks out like that, 4 blocks out, and just kind of spamming it. Don't make it even, but kind of make it look something like this. Kind of a diamond shape, and see it already kind of has a spruce looking shape to it. And the way to make it look somewhat natural is by leaving stuff like this. Like, it's not perfect, you just break that. Break, you know, some blocks, because spruce trees and trees in general are never perfect. And you just want to break some blocks. That one I'm just going to leave. That is a good base, and you can always go back and break some more. So I'm going to break that one, and then actually I'll break, and I'll do something like that. And then the next step is to just start on a smaller layer, something a little bit like this. And then you also want to break some of these and make it a little bit more random so it looks kind of like that. The key for spruce trees is to go from a big layer to a small layer, back up to a big layer. So this layer right here, we want to go back up a little bit bigger than the last one you just made, but still shorter than the base layer that we made first. And you can always start out with a perfect shape like that if you want. And that usually makes it a little bit easier. See, it kind of looks like the base Minecraft tree right now. And you just want to go back through and break some more of these blocks. You don't want your tree to look perfect. There, it already looks pretty good. And you can go back and add a few more leaves in here like that to make it look a little bit better. Oh, didn't mean to open that. Okay. And I can always add another one right here. Maybe put one right there. And that doesn't look too bad. So, I mean, just experiment with something that looks good. Make sure to check every single angle. See, I don't really like that. See, I don't really like the way it looked, so I put some right there. And then that's kind of what you want to do down here for the bottom layer as well, is remove some of them and then put them a layer down. See, now it has a little bit more shape because you removed some. And I think I'm going to do that. And then put one right there. And now I think the base layer looks pretty good. And you just want to repeat that going up the entire way. Don't worry about branches sticking out. Trees do that a lot. And you kind of just want to spam leaves in that same sort of shape that you just did. And the key to doing trees is if something looks bad, just keep working at it. And eventually you'll find something that looks somewhat natural. See, I'm kind of just spamming leaves, not really thinking about it until I look at the whole tree, and then I do whatever I want to do. But you just want to add some leaves in some random spots, like up here, add one right there. Make it a little bit taller, add something right there, and boom, the spruce tree already looks pretty good. And it's really not even complete, but it already looks pretty solid right now. And you can always switch the branches out for spruce to make them stick out a little bit more. I think it's easier to go and build the entire tree in a creative world first and then go and remove some of the leaves afterwards. Because you just want to spam leaves in here. Don't remove too many leaves. You still want to make it a little bit thick. Spruce trees tend to be thicker than maybe oak trees would be usually. So don't remove too many leaves, but still break enough to where it's not super thick. So I think that's a pretty good tree, and hopefully this is a better tutorial than the last one I made, because a lot of people struggle with making trees. They make them like the one behind me. I'm not going to tell you which one, but this is just a very basic spruce tree, and you can kind of use that same philosophy with this one, just using fences, maybe adding a few less branches. But it's a pretty easy tree to make in Minecraft, and it can make an area look so much better. And I think I am done making trees for now. Let me know if you guys like these trees, the trees individually and fitting into this environment. I will add more, probably just going around this area a lot, and I think it'll end up blending in a little bit more. I think the only thing that's making it look weird is they stick out as well, same as the castle. Obviously the castle is going to stick out, but I think the trees stick out a little bit because they're the only trees in this area really, other than those. But I think once I add more of these spruce trees, it'll fit in better and look a lot nicer. Now we have to get on to the thing that'll take another big chunk of time, and that is a path working its way down, at least towards the house. I don't know if I'm going to get that done completely, but I guess I might as well. And I do want it to be functional. I want to have a reason to go in there. I'm not sure what it's going to be, so if you guys have any ideas for the interior of the castle or any functionality to it, just let me know in the comments, because I do want to put something in there. Just not sure what I want to put there yet. But I do know that I'm going to put a path over there, but I was all out of dirt and coarse dirt. So I was making my way over to the mega taiga that I did end up finding. I couldn't find it last episode. I know where it is now. But I found this really cool space that I could totally build something. So if you have an idea for this space, please let me know. But I arrived to the mega taiga biome to collect as much coarse dirt and dirt that I could. And then I got back to the castle and began laying out a path with netherrack all the way down the hill. And there we have the path laid out. I've only made it up to here because I want to get this done first. And this is what it looks like in free cam. Use netherrack because it's a great block to signify a path. Like, it stands out a lot. But it really just goes up to like a perfect S shape. Like, the land just allows me to do that already. But let me just get started on that. I don't really know how else to build this without just making it another time lapse. That just seems like the easiest way to do it. But let's just get started on the path. I finally finished it. I finally finished terraforming this area. I added another custom tree. And don't worry, this area is not completely finished. I'm just kind of sick of it. I've already gone through 2 diamond shovels. And it takes forever to mine dirt without efficiency 4. So I'm just not going to bother with it anymore. But I do think it looks pretty good right now. I think it's starting to look really nice in this area. The trees and the path do a lot, especially for the thumbnail. I mean, that looks pretty nice. But I'm going to finish this area in a future episode. Can definitely do more terraforming. We'll definitely add more custom trees and just fix the area up a little bit more. And I might do that when I fix the interior of the castle. I do think that's nearing the end of this video. The only thing I have left to do is fishing. And I also have to announce the winner of that enchanted book from last episode and name it. I do have an anvil, so I can do that right now. And if you guys didn't already know, I fish at the end of every single episode, or at some point in every single episode. And whatever I catch first, I will name after one of you guys. So just go to the form in the description, and then you fill it out, and you can name an enchanted book in this world that will be put into a massive library. And I've randomly selected the name for the enchanted book from last episode, and this is what it is. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Yep, that's what it is. That's gonna go in the library. Thank you for whoever submitted that. I don't know where to put this right now. I think I'll put it... If I put it in here, does it remove the name? It doesn't. So your book's going there for now. Actually, I'll put it up there. Whatever your favorite color is. My guess is it's that blue. That's where your book is. And now I'm gonna have to go fishing to figure out the name of the book for this episode, but I'm going to put some of this stuff up first.
A few moments later.
My fishing rod is down to 4 durability, and I haven't got a book yet. I did get a saddle, though, so we can finally get a horse. I doubt I'm going to be able to get a book before this fishing rod breaks, so I'm going to have to go get another one. Come on, please be a book. Please. And I brought 2 fishing rods on my way back to the fishing spot. And we're back, and we have shaders on, and this looks crazy. I mean, this is amazing. Hopefully we can catch a fish sooner than last time. We finally caught a book, and that has a lot of enchants on it. Blast protection 4, piercing 4, and aqua affinity. So if you want to be named after this book, and you're going to be named after it, and that'll be the case in every single video. But this is where I'm going to end off the video. Behind me is the castle that we built in this episode. It's a little dark. I should probably sleep first. And this is a very cozy spot to fall asleep. I really thought I got a lot done. It took a while. This episode took like 120 days. But we did build a castle, so that's pretty cool. And I will see you guys in the next one.